Good morning. It is 5:38 and I'm still sitting in my tent. I was actually awake at like 10 till 5 and I got out to pee and then I was going to get up and start walking early. And then I was like, it's kind of cold. In town, the low last night was supposed to be 65, but up here at elevation, I'm guessing it's in the 40s right now. It's pretty chilly. So I got back in my quilt. I have had coffee and breakfast now and I'm partially packed up. So probably another 20 minutes or so. I need to get in gear here and try to be walking around 6. All right, I'm all packed up and I am now walking. It's 6:08, so I didn't do too bad. It wasn't like the super early that I contemplated, but I kind of knew that probably wasn't going to happen. I already saw one deer out here across the meadow, and yeah, 19 point whatever it is to get to the marina today. And I've already got something in my shoe. As you can see, I'm wearing my mid layer. So I probably have to stop and get something out of my shoe. 3 minutes after that, I'm gonna stop and take my mid layer off. All right, here's where the old Rivas Ranch home was. You can tell part of a foundation still there. I was just camped down there by the trees. And I don't know, that's the well or some other kind of foundation there. But here we go. I'm not sure why this is just so mind-blowing to me, but it doesn't even feel like what has been the AZT for the most part. I mean, it's just, they're dry meadows, but meadows and real trees and deer everywhere. All right, it's about 7:40. I ran into Heathen, which someone I met on day one. And I've seen sporadically a couple times, but I haven't seen him since Vail. Walked with him for almost an hour. We were walking and chatting. He stopped back there to get some water and change clothes, take off layers. And we got about another 7 miles of these up, downs. And then it's like 9 miles of down to Roosevelt Lake. Okay, so here next to the trail, I go on the other side of it, there's a spring, but there's a rattlesnake somewhere right there. I walked up to the edge and there was some rattling right there, like under that log in the front. I backed up a little bit and then kind of poked at the log with my trekking pole, started rattling again. So I guess I don't need water. Well, I think I have enough water, but I was going to get some more. But I'm definitely not reaching into that thing with a rattlesnake right inside of it. So I'm going to keep going. Yeah, I guess I'll just have enough water. Another thing I've been thinking about here this morning, because I was looking at the maps last night. So Roosevelt Marina is around 2,000 feet of elevation. I've got like almost a 10-mile descent coming up here in a few miles. Then tomorrow, start climbing into the Mozzies, which they're called the Mozzies, but it's some other kind of wilderness name that I don't really know what it is right now. And with the Mozzies, it's a 4,000 foot climb into there. And I was needing a big day tomorrow, probably, at least 25, to give me only 15 in to pace in the next day. But with that kind of climb and the heat we've been having, it doesn't sound like a great plan. And then getting into pacing late in the day doesn't allow for much benefit to having the hotel and needing to do laundry and all that. So I'm going to look some more. Hopefully there's cell signal at the marina. And what I may do is talk to the lady in Pine where I have that reservation where I'm getting my shoes. See about moving that back a day. And that will give me some more leisurely time and I can not feel like I'm on such a crushed schedule to get to Pine. Once I get to Pine and get those shoes in the box there would be no need for many other schedules for anything, but I do need to get there. So if I can back that up a day, and then maybe only have to do like 18 or 20 tomorrow with that big climb. That'd be nice. So, and then it would also set up better for the next town and blah, blah, blah. So I think I'm going to try to do that if there's cell signal and all that. I cannot believe there's a rattlesnake right there at that water. I didn't see any comments about that. This morning there's been a lot of rocks, a lot of loose rocks. Feels like I'm going really slow. And then this descent right here is so steep and there's so many loose rocks on it. I was sliding. I stopped once back there to make sure I was even on the right trail. And I am. It's just slow going. I'm doing mostly baby steps here, but I mean, we'll get there. It's just definitely slowing down my pace. Looks like there's a lake down there. Well, stopped for a break here. I hiked 4 hours and I'm not going very fast today with all these steep ups and downs and all the loose rock. I did right at 2 miles an hour. I did 8.1 miles in the first 4 hours. Usually, especially in the morning, I can usually get 2.5 to 2.7 miles an hour. But this terrain just isn't allowing for it. I don't know what the deal is back there. That down and up was like somebody decided forget about all like sustainable trail building practices. No, there was no trail building art or science. It was just let's bomb this thing straight down and straight back up. I slid a few times and did the break dance in the air. I didn't fall down, but I got close a couple times. Since the rattlesnake by that spring kind of foiled my water plans, it's like 6.5 miles to the next water, and I have 1 full liter, and then I have this is a 1.5 liter bottle, so I have about 1 1/3 liters, so it's a little less than I'd like to have, but I mean, rattlesnake, what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna have a snack here. I've got one more down and up, and then it's like the rest of the way is all downhill to the marina. So that's where we're at for now. I'm really hoping it's cruisier terrain and not all this loose rock. It is 11:35. I'm done climbing. I'm soaked with sweat. I have 3.9 to the next water and still like a little over 8.5 to the marina. It's been a tough morning. This heat, the steepness, and all the rocks have just made it tough. My water situation, I've got a little under a liter. I just took a couple big drinks. It's all downhill though, so I have plenty to get there, but hopefully there's good cold water there, and I'm gonna drink at least a liter or two while I'm there. Depending on the treadway, if I've got 8.5 miles of good treadway, this would be nice. If it's all chunky rock and steep, it's gonna still be rough. I came from that way, so I finished the Superstition Wilderness. No day on the AZT is complete without walking on dirt roads. You can see here behind me how steep this is. That's not even 1/10 of what I just came down. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, that's a lot of big rocks, like tennis ball and softball sized rocks. They're loose and sliding. So coming downhill that long, that steep, is just hell on your knees and your feet. But I still got a long way to go to the marina. Still probably got A little over 2 to the water. I'm getting really close to where the spring's supposed to be. There's a comment just like 2 or 3 days ago, I guess 3 days ago, that said still flowing good. But then there's a more recent comment that says easy to fill up another mile past here. I'm really hoping there's water here. All right, I got water. It's I'll show you. It's a very, very small stream of water, but I could fill up my 1 liter bottle about half at a time, and so it's plenty. I'm drinking some. I'm gonna have a snack. I've done 14.4, and it's about 20 after 1, and it's been a hard 14.4. I feel like I'm complaining a lot today, but today's been tough. I've got another 4.9 to the marina, and just depending on how things go, I don't even know for sure, but I think we can camp right there at the marina. So that's probably going to be my day. I think the restaurant and store is open until 6, so I should have plenty of time to eat a meal and all that. It's just a hot day. I know at Superior, the high today was like 94, 95, something like that. This heat and these climbs are something. Here's the water. There's a little bit better spot up here that I can get a bottle halfway filled. Ever since I left that water, there's been a lot of water that could be had. This is one of the better spots, so I took the camera out, but it's mostly been all rock. You climb up one side of the creek, and then you go back down across the creek, climb up the other side, just back and forth, torquing your ankles all over the place and hurting your feet and all that. Now this is wild. The left side of the trail is all the trees, the trail, and the right side is covered in a bunch of old saguaros. It's wild looking to have them right there together like that. All right, I came from there. There's a water trough here that has pretty good water in it, really. And then let's go look at this tank right here. That's a big tank. I don't need water right now, but man, all of a sudden there's water everywhere. Kind of green, but drinkable if you had to. Who am I kidding? With that stretch when the rattlesnake wouldn't let me have my water this morning, I'd have drinking that happily. That water looks so blue, and there's an island out there. Man, I just want to go jump in. In some ways, that's looking close because I can see the marina, but I can see a car down there too. And my goodness, just tracking the road through here up that other mountain. I still got a long way to go. Okay, you get to listen to me complain again. It's 3:30. Since I got to that big water pool, and I thought I was almost here, I've done at least 6 separate ups and downs. And I'm on another up here, but the marina is right below me. So I'm getting close. Actually, I think I just almost missed the trail while I was talking. I think it's over here. So I'm starting to work my way down, but man, I'm ready to get there. When I left this morning, I really thought I'd make it by 3 with no problem. It's gonna be close to 4. This afternoon has just really felt like I'm working really hard and I'm just not going anywhere. It's been one of those kind of days. I don't like those kind of days. Just left the AZT to walk over here to the marina and the store. So this is a lot bigger and more like commercialized, a lot more traffic, tons of boats. It looks like that's all that's here. There's like a trailer park and like the big complex for like the ranger station and the marina. But I thought people camped around here, and I'm not really sure where people are camping. I was looking up there on the trail thinking maybe when I get back to the trail, but there's nothing there. It's pretty steep. So I don't know where I'm sleeping. For some reason, I had it in my mind that I was going to be able to sleep right by the restaurant. Maybe there's a situation down here to be learned about, but it's not looking like that type of situation right now. All right, I'm here. It's 4 o'clock. The store is open till 6 and the restaurant until 7. And there's actually a setup here with picnic tables and shade where we can camp and porta potties and all. So we're in business. This has been wildly productive so far. I had a Philly cheesesteak with some sweet potato fries, and that was pretty good. I first chugged that Powerade, then I had 2 big sodas in there with the food. I got a little extra resupply and some stuff to eat here. The lady let me fill my water in the soda machine because there's no water available here anymore unless you buy a jug. But I do have now 4 liters, and I saw that a Trail Angel just put 33 liters around noon today, just about 10 miles north of here. 33 gallons. So anyway, I'm good to get set up and start charging some stuff and relaxing because my feet been hurting. Check this out. There's even like a big fake grass thing that I'm gonna put my tent on. And it's solar, but there's a way to charge our stuff here. So one thing I didn't mention, when I was sitting there, I had just gotten my food. A hiker that I had met briefly on Mount Lemmon, Stumbles, came in and saw me, and she's like, hey, there's a Trail Angel, Scott and Becky, and they were coming to pick her up, and they said they had room for like 5 more. And it's a situation where there was like you tent camp at their house, but there's showers and laundry and all that. And it was really tempting, but I was like, I want to stay here so I can get an early start tomorrow. And I had stuff I wanted to just figure out. I don't know if anybody else is camping here or not. I ran into 3 hikers that I had met briefly when I got into town in Superior. They got in the shuttle I came in to go back. And they said they paid $50 to reserve a campsite. They didn't even realize this was tenting for hikers over here. They said someone talked them into paying for the campsite, but it wasn't bad because there's 3 of them to split. There were 2 hikers here when I got here, but I'm not sure what happened to them. There are 2 packs on the other side of this building, but there have not been anybody around. So I could be here by myself, or maybe we'll get more people. I never did see Heathen come in, but he could have come in and jumped on that in that hostel situation too, so I don't know. I did call and change my dates for Pine, which will give me a little more leisure time the next few days. That way I'm not rushing, because it's still 42 miles to Payson, and I have to go in town, resupply and laundry and all those things. And tomorrow's 4,000 feet of climbing, and I looked for here, it was 101 degrees today. Tomorrow's 97. So I just didn't want to have to push 20 something a day, 2 days in a row again, and then get into town late and have to hurry up and turn around and get back on the trail early the next morning. So I was able to get that arranged. So I'm feeling super productive right now, even though I'm sitting here doing nothing. All right, got some socialization. It was almost like the AT tonight. So Heathen made it into town. He said he was trying all day to keep up with me, but couldn't. He made it in, and then some other hikers that I had met at the last town briefly were here. So I repacked my stuff up over here, went and had a couple of beers with them and just hung out. It was absolutely beautiful here. I think Heathen and I are the only 2 camping up here at the free spot. So this is probably all that's going to happen today. I'm going to set my tent up and drink some more Powerade and go to bed. So let me tell you now, have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, I'm back to tell you one thing. So I was talking to the people that were just ahead of me today. And I was telling them about this whole like trying to get water and there being a rattlesnake there. And they're rattling, but I didn't see it. They're like, oh, we were there. We got the picture of it. So they showed me the picture. It was right where I thought it was, between that wooden block and the top. Like you'd had to reach right over it. And it was a really black rattlesnake. I should have got that picture from him. But anyway, I'm all set up here. And since I have a picnic table and it's a leisurely night, I'm gonna sit here and edit this video and eat some candy before I brush my teeth. And then Heathen says he's going swimming, but I'm not doing that. So once again, have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.